Given below are two quotations of moral thinkers, philosophers. We have to bring out our thoughts, our understanding in the present context. The first one is, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. This quotation is given by Mahatma Gandhi. The weak can never forgive. He is bound by extreme emotions, which is usually anger, which prevents him from forgiving. This weakness is also the source of our negative attitude, anger, sense of revenge, etc. By not forgiving others, we are inclined to think that we are taking revenge from that person who has done harm to us. But in fact, it harms us more than it does to others. Obviously, we keep thinking about that person only. Our mind remains occupied with such negativity that it hampers our personality development. A weak personality always believes that forgiving someone is in itself a sign of incapability to punish the culprit, that we are not capable enough of punishing that person. This is the thinking of a negative personality traits. However, for forgiveness, one needs moral fortitude to overcome the strong emotions which prevent us from forgiving. One needs to transcend the distinction between good and bad. This way, we can free our souls from chains and hence ensure our all round personality development. So, by inculcating the value of forgiveness, we are helping ourselves as much as we are helping others. We need to always remember that forgiveness doesn't change our past, but it does change our future. So, for society to prosper and humanity to progress, we need to inculcate the value of forgiveness, as forgiving someone, even when you have the power to punish him, needs patience and compassion towards mankind. So, this was all thought. The next one is, we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. This quote has been given by Plato. This can be interpreted in the present context where even the mature and educated citizens are not willing to accept the gravity of a situation and refuse to acknowledge their duty to make positive changes. They are only concerned about their personal gains. A child represents an immature mind. A man, in contrast, represents a rational human being who knows the difference between right and wrong. On the other hand, light stands for virtue. Obviously, light, whenever we think of light, we think of happiness. While darkness is vice. Vice means something of bad category. दुराचार हिंदी में कहते हैं. And हाँ, humans have always preferred for status quo. They always think about their status in the society. Any change, whether ethical or not, are resisted by them. What people will think of them if they do so. Literal meaning of the quote implies that one who is ignorant and commits a mistake can be forgiven for his lack of knowledge. If somebody does something unknowingly, he can be forgiven. This is what judiciary tends to pronounce in judgments which remain open to reform the convict. Sometimes we give time to culprits to change their mind, to change their attitude. Some kind of punishment are there in the provisions. Tragedy is that when humans refuse to accept knowledge that could lead to desirable change in individual and society, they are stubborn with their traditional thinking. Example can be given of khap panchayats and traditionalists who don't change their attitude. What is coming from generations is going on generations and generations. They cannot change their thought and thinking process. Despite knowing the advantages of modern societal values, these orthodox minds remain firm on their viewpoint and perpetrate violence in name of preserving their tradition. We can quote example of what NH10 movie was based on what topic? Honor killing. Sorry, huh? Honor killing can be quoted here too. They keep justifying their wrongs without accepting them. What they think is right, what is going on is right. Hence, one of the most important characteristic men must have is confidence, responsibility, taking ability, and fearlessness to come forward. Responsibility, self confidence, these are the things that are needed to forgive something, to so this quote was like, I can repeat, we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. Child is immature, he is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Men are afraid, they are in illusion.